all this trash talk. I need some beauty. I need something fabulous.
I'll keep talking.
Nation, I have to bring in an incredible guest who I am falling in love with as we speak. Yeah. She is the lovely British-born actor who is a primetime television favorite in the UK, and she's now here in Hollywood to get in your box. Please welcome the talented Serena Lorien.
Yeah. Well, that was quite an intro. Hello.
Hi, Serena. Welcome to Langdon Nation.
Thank you very much.
So, darling, it's a lovely, bright, and sunny day. I don't know what's brighter, the sun or you.
Oh, you're so cute.
Wow. You just kind of graced in, and you're charming everybody.
Well, thank you.
You truly
are. I love
are.
how everyone's becoming British, too. You included.
I know. I always like to do the accent. I like it.
It's fun.
It is, right?
I like it.
Does it annoy you when Americans do that, though? Like, because Americans will try to, like, oh, hi there.
No, the only thing that annoys me about it is when people think that we all sound like Austin Powers. Do
I make you Randy?
I get a lot of that, yeah. And I'm like, no, we really don't say that.
No, I'm not attracted to Americans, sorry.
And besides, Mike Myers is Canadian. Mm-hmm. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, and damn those Canadians, because they take all our comedy jobs away. There's some damn funny people, right?
Really?
You don't think Canadians are funny?
No.
Dan Aykroyd, Mike Myers,
there's two.
Nabbit. No, they're all Canadian. Justin Bieber. Now that's funny.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, we all like laughing at Justin Bieber.
So funny.
Yes, we enjoy laughing at him.
That is why I have the Brits on the show. Because we are sister countries. It's so funny. We're like the kids that ran away. We're mad. And then yet we're so closely connected today, and I love that. I think we've been closer than ever before.
Definitely.
You know?
I mean, to get all serious for just 1 second.
Oh,
obviously,
please do.
politically, I think,
Right?
especially right now.
Yeah, obviously it's post 9/11, you know, and from that terrible event did come some good things. And no matter how we all feel about wars, thank God, which are all coming to an end. President Obama just announced the end of the Afghanistan war. We will start pulling out troops in 2013 and we'll be gone by 2014.
Do the Afghanis know?
They do, and they don't like it. I was listening to a lot of NPR this week, and we are not popular there. But hey,
I'm just hoping you guys don't enter into Iran next. I'm like, I think we've had enough of war.
Get ready.
No, we need to.
Criminy. So we all need to think about our votes this November in this country.
I don't like war.
I don't like war either. Who's for war? Raise your hand.
Me.
Michael.
That figures.
I want to be a warmonger.
You're off to a good start.
A warlord, specifically.
What's the difference between a warmonger and a warlord, do you think?
Well, a warmonger trades in war.
Yes.
Much like a fishmonger. But a warlord, he is actually the head of a war-inducing entity.
So that would be the president.
I would be like a...
Serena, yeah!
I would be like a tribal chief.
Well, I don't like war, but I do like her gams. Let's talk about her legs.
Can we? I was hoping we would get there. Nation, her photo will be on the website. And you will see how gorgeous she is at langdonnation.com. By the way, her dress has a zipper. The entire front of the dress is a zipper
I've wanted
from
nothing
top to bottom.
Yeah. I'm sure we are thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Cha-ching.
Easy
Zip.
access.
I don't normally have people talk about my legs. I quite like that.
Really?
No.
Why don't they?
Oh, I like
because I'm short, I think, because I'm only 5'3".
You're
so normally
versatile.
it's the eyes or the boobs. Never usually the legs.
We could talk boobs.
I'm good.
We can talk about any body part of yours.
Let's just move from the
Serena.
ground up.
Yeah, we'll start with your toes, in fact, because
Look at
they're
those
very
toes.
cute.
I've got little tiny feet. My feet are like size 6.
And
And I can fit in some
Can we
size
see your
5s.
boobs then?
My boobs.
Everybody shut up. She's got the in.
They're hidden.
I guess let's just go ahead and Okay.
Yeah, just move your hair. Move that
you know?
lovely
Wow.
brunette.
Loverly. Good God. Yes. Thank
She
you.
is hot.
Well, thank you.
Sorry, Brianna.
Nation,
She's
you
hot.
got to go to langdonnation.com and see her pictures, and they will be a link, maybe to her IMDb page, maybe to your press kit, just so the nation can learn more about you. But they're going to learn more about you from the questions that I asked.
Okay, I'm ready.
So I happen to know that you started acting at a very young age. You did a commercial, your first commercial at age 6.
I did, yeah.
Now, what got you into the art? Well, first of all, what was that commercial? Tell us.
It was for a bank. A very well-known bank in
Part
the
of the
UK.
takeover of the world. You're an Illuminati, aren't you?
Well, I couldn't tell you if I was, could I?
1%er.
What were you doing in the bank? Was it like your parents going to save for their lovely child?
To be honest, I still probably couldn't explain it to this day, but it was something to do with a house and a tree was sort of their logo at the time. And so we were supposed to be the family living in the house beside the tree. And it was my mum and me and my sister. And I'm sort of running across the screen. And then at the end, we're asleep in front of the picture that we've drawn of a house and a tree. God knows. But it paid and it was fun.
Hey.
It was my first job. So.
6 years old earning paychecks. 6 years old, I was picking my nose.
I don't even think I'd learned how to do that yet.
Right? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
How did you do that? Were your parents, now I know your father, and we're going to chat about him in a minute. Your father is a very talented musician. He actually had 2 chart-topping albums in the UK.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And the albums were named a little off of your dad's name.
Yeah. He was part of an instrumental group, so it was him and one other person. And my dad's one of these guys that can pick up any instrument and just play it.
Oh, it makes me jealous.
He started teaching piano when he was 11 years old.
Really?
Really.
Teaching.
He
was so good.
He was teaching at 11.
Wow.
And he actually now travels around the world, and he's put 4 years of music college into a weekend. So basically anyone, even if you've never touched an instrument, you can go in, you can learn all your chords, your modes, your scales, how to read music. By the end of the weekend, it's amazing.
You're kidding, like these all-day weekend workshops?
Yeah.
Really?
He goes everywhere. He goes to Australia, Hungary, Prague, England.
When's he coming to Los Angeles?
He actually has one in March.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. Plug him. What's his website? There's a lot of musical people that are listeners. We actually have a lot of bands on the show and people come in. What's his website?
It's dlorien.com, and that's Lorien, and it's called the Understanding of Music Seminar.
Awesome. One more time, honey.
dlorien.com and the Understanding of Music Seminar.
Awesome. And what's your dad's name?
Duncan Lorien.
Duncan! Isn't that a great name, Nick? Doesn't that just make you like, Duncan?
I actually have a British friend. His name is Duncan. And like, no matter what he does, I'm just like, oh, he's so smart. And it's because he's British and he has that name. Like,
he opens a pop top. Psh, oh, he's so
it's
smart.
just a good name.
Although he does get a lot of
donuts.
Yeah, he gets a lot of letters spelt spelt the Dunkin' Donuts way.
Yeah.
Not good.
Oh no.
He lives in Boston too.
You're
so
kidding.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Those
kidding.
letters have to come from Americans. They have to,
How do you
right?
spell this guy's name? I don't know. Dunkin' Donuts is
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin apostrophe.
And your dad lives in Boston?
He does.
Awesome.
He actually is right off the mainland. He lives on a really cute little island called Nahant.
Oh, does he own the island?
He doesn't, but he has a nice beach house.
Wow. So your dad does pretty good.
He's comfortable.
Is he gay?
Party at your dad's place.
So do you get to go visit him a lot?
I usually go at least once a year.
Awesome.
He comes here twice a year for his seminars, so obviously that's kind of cool because I get to spend some time with him. But going back to your actual question, I knew at 3 that I wanted to be an actress.
You're kidding. What? How did that happen? Was it something you saw? Was it a particular actor, a movie?
I don't know what it was at that age. I just kind of knew. I just turned around to my mum and I said, I want to be an actor. And for the longest time, I knew that I wanted to be in America.
Really?
Couldn't really figure out exactly why I wanted to be here. Obviously, there's a huge industry here, but
now you
reason
know.
for it,
You're sitting on this couch.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But
there was one other.
You've hit your pinnacle. You have reached the heights. You can go home.
I'm done now. No, but there was. I realised that I'd been watching American stuff at that age. I hadn't been
That's
watching
so funny.
British
You grew up watching
films.
American television,
lots
and
of it.
I grew up literally watching 80% Brit
British.
television.
Our
Fawlty
television
Towers,
is fantastic. Fawlty Towers is my all-time favourite.
Monty
Love
Python,
that.
Benny
Fantastic.
Hill, Doctor Who, I have to confess, with Tom Baker. Such a nerd.
The Brits can make some TV. They can't cook for me, but they can make me some television all day long.
Do you know we've got such a bad reputation?
You
for our-
do,
Okay, I like
darling.
Jamie. I like Jamie. I do have.
I like Jamie Oliver. I like him a lot.
I do have some. As a matter of fact, I used to watch that show about there was
Food Nation, Food Revolution?
No, it was a sitcom with a chef, a black chef. Hey,
There's no black people in England.
shut your face.
Oh, you talking
Lenny
about Lenny
Henry.
Henry?
Say it again.
Lenny Henry? He played a chef on a TV show.
Yeah,
for a
but
while.
it's called Hey. Oh God, I can't remember the name. It came out in the 90s. I was just watching it
Mike,
night
that
on.
could have been Lenny Henry, right?
Yeah,
didn't he play a
that's
chef
what I
for a long
thought.
time?
I can't remember the name of it, but
He looks like Lenny Henry.
I still watch the British TV, though. I mean, I still
too.
go on BBC America and get my little dose of
I have to
British in.
say something about cuisine because
Oh, are you going to try to defend this crap?
British cuisine
This
has
slop?
has a bad rap from people that have never been to fucking England.
excuse
Yes,
me, sir. I have been
that's
to England.
true.
I have been to England.
And
What is it that you don't like about the food then? Because now I'm curious about this one now.
okay,
I can deal with some of the pub food.
Like what? What do you like, Nick?
Chips.
Yeah.
How about the
Which are
fish?
actually French fries, just so y'all know.
No, but they're actually not. That's the thing. Okay, I'm going to give you a lesson now.
They're not.
No,
French
no.
fries.
Chips.
Lay it
French
on them,
fries.
Serena.
The difference with chips, they kind of are similar to your steak fries. But to be honest, what makes them so good is because they are fried in rancid oil. That's why they taste so brilliant. They then put
So they will
salt and
kill
vinegar
you.
on top. Yeah, they're not good for your cholesterol or anything, but they taste good. And they basically they have to be crispy on the outside and soft in the inside. You don't get any with the malt vinegar, and you don't get them here. You can go to any British pub you want here, or British supposed restaurant. They don't taste like they do back home because they're not using rancid oil. So, and that sounds really unhealthy, but it tastes delicious.
I would just have to say that some English food is horrible. Like I went to the Welsh are going to take a hit right here. When I went to Wales, I had a salad there which consisted of like iceberg lettuce and Heinz salad cream, which is pretty heinous. But generally,
Oh, Nicole!
if
Nick's face!
if you buy food in London, for instance, supermarket food is like, I would say prepared foods of a higher caliber
It is,
than
definitely.
here. And let's talk about Jewish delis.
I love Jewish deli.
British food is.
Except gefilte fish.
I would say British food is. I think British food's better than that because I
What
don't
is
think
British food?
I don't think putting a pound of pastrami sliced between two pieces of bread counts as cuisine. I'm sorry.
Wow,
See,
Michael's
you know what's
really,
really
angry,
crazy about
Serena.
British food is that up until I think it was 2 years ago, fish and chips were our national dish, and now it's curry. So technically,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was just going to say that.
Technically,
Yeah, I was going
True.
to say,
would say
even
that
though I'm
curry is
making
British
fun
food.
of British cuisine,
Right.
I have had some delicious food there, whether it was West African or Indian, because, England is not just what we might think it is.
right? We have some of the best restaurants
Yeah.
in London, especially, and some very talented chefs that come specifically to live in England.
If you can afford
So,
it. I think
yeah.
that's probably the biggest problem.
And
but
very good ingredients because they have cold water fish.
Yeah.
They have fantastic but I mean.
No, it's true. And one of the biggest things actually about the ingredients as well is that, here it's legal to give pigs growth hormone. In England, it's not.
Thank you.
So in general, it's easier to find food that
Healthier
is
food.
healthier and more organic, and you don't have to pay an
But
arm
your
and a leg
TV's
for
better.
it.
You got to admit that the TV is better than the food. Wouldn't you say that? Look at her. Look at her.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just giving you grief, honey.
But I like both. So
What's your favorite thing about the U.S.? You are here. You've been here how long?
3 years now.
3 years, right? So you're an expat.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're here. What's your favorite thing about the U.S.?
My favorite thing about the US is Americans, and I'll explain that a little bit
The
further.
men, yeah.
But
Cha-ching!
basically,
The American men, we are so manly.
no, but in America, basically, you guys have very much the view of you can do whatever you want. As in, people can come here and there are opportunities, and if you're willing to work hard, then you can strive for them and get somewhere. And that's considered a good thing. Success is welcomed and encouraged. And in a lot of other countries in the world, it's not like that quite so much. Biggest thing that I had to learn when I moved here was sort of downplaying everything, because it's a very British trait to do that, to kind of be like, oh, well, it was just this or just that. And it's like, no, okay, stop doing that. I was like, no one else is doing it. Everyone here is making things sound bigger. and
Yeah, in
better.
Los Angeles particularly.
Exactly.
And remember, L.A. is not all of America, right?
Right. No.
But in America, I think it's more okay to be self-confident and positive. But in L.A., you have to promote. So that must have been very difficult for you to
It was something for me to get over and kind of be like, it's okay to sit back and be like, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's okay to
Own
do that.
it.
Exactly.
Right. Did you
And
have to go to
that's-
a coach?
No.
An
I just,
own it
I
coach?
just sort of learnt. I learnt pretty quickly.
You're a quick learner?
Yeah. And actually,
Own it,
I'm going to
coach,
go all
that's
political
hilarious.
again for a minute, but this was my big thing the other day, because I was seeing everybody post these things on Facebook about Mitt Romney and how much money he's making. And I'm like, hold on a minute. Isn't this what America is about? He's a self-made man. Whether you like his politics or not is a different story, right? But he's done well as a businessman. He's made a lot of money.
Yeah, Mormons aren't American. Sorry.
I actually totally agree with you because I think that's sort of what can we get this guy about? And that is, you're right. I think it's a very un-American trait.
It was just weird for me to see it because normally it is all about being encouraging and being like, cool, dude, you did good.
He didn't want to open up the books, though. I think that was a
Well, no,
part
he's not. He's
Mormon.
He's allowed to. He released what he's supposed to release. He's not required to have someone go through his files with a fine-tooth comb, as do any of them. Right? None of them have. None of them released everything.
Well, here's what I'll say
love
about
Ron Paul,
that.
so-
I love Ron Paul.
like him.
He's adorable. I want them to
my
make
guy.
a Ron Paul action figure.
That would be so
Bobblehead doll.
Or a squeak, like more like a stuffed animal. Like I would buy that and I would hug it every day. I think Ron Paul
Yeah.
is adorable, and Ron Paul wants to stop war.
He does.
I love that.
And he says what he feels. He's not one
He's
of these
the
guys that
only
flip-flops,
one
you know.
up there
I like
who's
him.
being honest, because the landscape of American politics has changed to the point that they will say, this is what I believe, they will say whatever they need to say to win.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And I have a great disrespect for that.
Yeah.
So and I love that you're here, Serena, with your international perspective, because it's almost, and I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but I will say it. It's like what happened in Iraq. The Taliban took over. It wasn't the Iraqis. The Taliban took over the government. We have a radical right-wing faction of our country that I will go so far, sorry, Jason, and other listeners, I will go so far as to say are taking over our country.
You mean left wing?
No, right.
Well, who's in the right wing's not in power at the moment?
Correct.
No,
and
but
they are
saying that they're
trying
rising-
Unfortunately, a
rising
lot
to
of
take
power.
over. And so
Right.
we are pre-Taliban. You're watching what happened in Iraq take place in our country right now. A small faction, and they're using rhetoric and using words to appeal to a larger conservative base. And I have conservative friends. So listeners, and I have conservative listeners. I love you. I love my conservative friends. I love my Republican friends. It is a small faction that happened to be within that party.
Well, they don't have any power though.
They are certainly trying. They
Yeah.
get 90% of the stories, 90% of the articles, and they are doing their damnedest to take over. And so what
I think Brandon's
most
point
people
is that Ron Paul is the only one that's actually
Telling
saying
what he really
doesn't
feels.
want to go and have another war unless he really has
No.
to. All of the other Republicans are very kind of war hungry in that sense, and they kind of are.
I don't see any politicians going out on the war ticket. That's just, I mean, call me.
But see, Ron Paul has been booed when he talks
Yeah.
about his foreign policy and says that he doesn't want to go to war, and when the others talk about going to war,
Right.
they get
It gets
rounds of
applause.
applause.
Let's point out we have a president who went on a non-war ticket, but then escalated the war in Afghanistan.
Well, I
which
believe because he wanted to make it work. I
I
believe
have
he
no
followed the
problem
surge.
with it, but he's actually gone against what he said he was
Right,
gonna
and
do.
he went against a lot of his left-wing Democratic
This is my whole
support.
thing. I think most of them, unfortunately, do. I think most of them promise lots of things and don't deliver. And I don't know if Ron Paul could do any different, but I do know that he's the only one that's stuck to what he said that he wants to do for the last 20 years. If you go back and watch videos, he's saying the same thing today that he was saying back then.
Yes.
And that
been
I
consistent.
admire and I respect.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me say, it's really interesting that you brought this up, Serena. Are you into politics? Or do you like?
Do you know what? I'm so not into politics, and yet because of Ron Paul, I've become really
Sorry.
interested in it.
do you have a crush on Ron Paul?
Do I have a crush on Ron Paul?
We can get
No,
him on the phone.
I think he's a very sweet older gentleman, but I don't.
We can get him on the phone. Michael, patch it through. Because we have politicians on the show all the time.
We do.
And in this election year, we're going to be having them on more and more.
Well, I'd like to tell him to run as an independent if he is listening.
Would you? Michael, do we have him?
Yeah, he's on line one. Hang on.
Hi, Mr. Paul.
Who's gonna be Ron Paul? Is that me?
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's you, Corey.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Paul. Welcome to the show.
Langdon, how you doing?
Oh, Mr. Paul, have you gotten any further with Lionel Toys or anybody? Is there going to be that doll I've been asking you for?
Well, maybe. I'm not sure yet.
Aw. Hey, Mr. Paul,
I'm not feeling like myself today, sorry.
guess what? I have a beautiful woman in the studio today, and she happens to think, I think she might have a crush on you, sir.
She's got a crush on me?
Yeah.
I'm an old man, though.
No, but sir, her name is Serena Lorien. I'm going to let her speak to you now. Serena, you're on the phone live.
Hello,
with-
Mr. Paul. How are you?
I'm great. I like that name, Serena, by the way. It's really nice.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So how are things going?
Well, we're trying to get all the media out there to actually tell everybody what our numbers are. We've been winning everything, and everybody's been saying that these other two schmoes been winning. Romney and Gingrich, neither one of them are fit to run this country. I am. I've been saying the same thing for 30 years.
So, Mr. Paul, I know that you're against war, but since now we have Skype in the studio and you can see Serena, usually we don't have that, but we're patching you in via Skype and you can see her. I was wondering if you thought she was pretty enough to go to war for, kind of like, they did in the old days.
Well, as much as I don't want to admit this, I would go to war for Serena.
I knew it!
If Iran stole Serena and said we have this hotness over here and she's got a big crush on Ron Paul, I would say Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, go bomb the hell out of Iran and turn it into a Walmart parking lot and give me my Serena back.
I'm so flattered.
Well, it's the truth.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. It's been great talking with you today.
Thank you.
Mr. Paul just spilled his beer.
Wow, that was crazy, Serena, right?
It was.
God almighty.
Definitely didn't expect to talk to him today.
Do you feel a little titillated? Are you excited?
It was fun.
He might be your sugar daddy, girl.
Right? You need one in Los Angeles.
He's got a wife, though. That doesn't work.
I mean, we're not talking about
Honey, this is
marrying him.
America. That never stopped anybody, right, Nick?
We're not talking nuptials here. We're talking about a few pair of shoes, and you can become the
But he's
first
not
British
into fashion,
housewife.
really, is he?
You can be the first lady to ever have been British.
That would be cool, actually.
That would be awesome.
I quite like that idea. I think we should put that out there.
Oh my
Start
God.
a campaign.
It starts now. Ron Paul, you heard it here. You need to have a British first lady.
I agree with that one.
Oh my God, he was still on the
Oh
line.
my God, he heard all of that.
Michael,
was
cut him
listening.
off, cut him off, Michael.
I was...
So guys, that was crazy, but not as crazy as Sound of Mind, which is the new movie Serena stars in as the lead. She plays Dr. Gray, a psychiatrist in this thriller. Nikki, she plays alongside Rutger Hauer.
Good God.
Good God, I have loved this man for years. And also alongside Thora Birch from American Beauty.
Oh,
Okay, I adore, Ghost World is one of my favorite movies
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
planet.
We're going to see this movie. Tell us about Sound of Mind, honey. Oh my God, I'm so
Does
excited
Thora
for
Birch
you.
show her boobs like she does in other movies? Because that's
Sound of
great.
Mind is one of my upcoming films.
Right?
So
It's coming out. When does it come out?
It's coming. I'm going to start shooting on it this year.
You haven't even shot it.
No, this one hasn't been shot yet.
Well, I'm going to shoot your publicist. I got so excited when I saw these notes that got sent to me. And I'm like, because they were like, do you want to book her? I'm like, hell yeah, she's beautiful. She's talented. Look at this resume. Then I get sent notes after we book you. And
then-
I'm all over this because I'm a psych nurse. I'm a psychiatric nurse. That's my day job.
okay.
I teach now, but I did therapy
That one
for
starts
years.
shooting in May.
Are you excited?
I am. Yeah,
Shooting
I'm really
here in
looking
LA or
forward to
where?
it. It's partly going to be in LA and then possibly partly in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow. So big
so-
cities.
Yeah.
Do we have a release date? Probably not even. Summer of 2013?
It's probably going to be the very beginning of next year.
So, oh, okay. Ooh, like a winter. So it's pretty dark, isn't it? It's a thriller.
It is. It's a thriller.
You're not
It's,
allowed to talk about it, are you?
A little bit.
Good. Tell us a little. Because the thing on Langdon Nation, they know they can always hear like something advanced. So whatever you can slip out.
Ooh.
Like the location of Rutger Hauer's trailer. Those kind of things.
Yeah, do you get to kiss him?
No, I don't.
Do you get to kiss Thora Birch?
No.
How much nudity is there?
I say you ad-lib.
Thora Birch and Efren Ramirez and Rutger Hauer, and they're actually in negotiations with two other really big names right now.
Really? To play bad guys?
To play the leads. And that's Jeremy Piven and James Caviezel.
Wow!
So that should be, we'll know either way in the next sort of coming
Week or so to
few
play the
weeks.
male lead. Well, that's awesome. So you play a
awesome to see
psychiatrist,
Jesus play
Dr.
bad.
Gray.
Yeah, and I'm the confidant basically of the lead. So
Amen.
if Jeremy Piven comes on board, I will be his shrink, which would be quite fun, I think. So fingers are crossed.
Oh, our fingers are crossed too. All of the nation's fingers are crossed for
I see you more with Jim Caviezel.
I like Jim. Oh yeah, I like Jim Caviezel a lot as an actor.
He's hot.
He is. He's handsome.
He's
and
a rather
he's a good
tasty
actor.
piece of.
I think there'd be some on-screen chemistry.
He's married too, though.
So good ones are married or.
I know.
They're all having problems in their marriage, though.
Oh, that
They-
makes me
they
sad.
are? I hadn't heard that.
I get sad. No, not them.
No, he
but,
means
but,
everyone.
But in
Oh,
general, you know, there was a lot of, I don't really get too invested in these celebrity divorces and the celebrity stuff and here. And I know it's real big in the UK too with Hello Magazine and OK Magazine.
definitely.
But wow, I just don't really care often. and I, you know, I'm like, oh, I think a lot of them aren't necessarily genuine in the first place. But recently, and I spoke about this on private sessions, Seal and Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum, I know they're the latest.
That broke my heart, Serena.
I was
I
bummed
know.
out about that.
I know. The trouble is that, I mean, it's such a cliche, but I think it really is hard to maintain relationships here in Hollywood because people are, especially if they've both got independent careers, they're both.
Why should a career make it hard, Serena?
Because I think they spend so much time away from each other. If they're off in other countries traveling, doing different projects, and
But
you
see,
know.
that's what you have a gay best friend for. Heidi brings her gay best friend. They go shopping. They look at, you know, and everything's fine. Seal should have a gay best friend. Straight men should have a gay best friend that they bring along.
Well,
And
here I'm going to
there
talk
would be
about
no
something
problems.
personal, though, because when I moved
Oh,
out to
she's
America,
opening up personal. Do we have personal
am.
music? Don't you love how I just asked for a cue like that? Do you have something personal and intimate?
when I moved out to America,
Yes.
I was initially
closer.
supposed to be here for 2 months.
Yes.
According to the lawyer, you know how they go.
Immigration issues?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
And he said I would have my green card within 2 months. It actually took 10 months before I got my work permit. It was 2.5 years before I got my green card. And during that 10
Oh, that
months
must have
that I
been
was
so
here,
nerve-wracking.
it sucked. I'll be honest, it completely was not fun. And at the time, I had a fiance back in England.
Whoa.
So I was coming out here for 2 months, then going back to England to get him, and then we were both planning to move here. And it ended up being that I couldn't leave the country because they wouldn't have let me re-enter.
Yep.
And those 10 months were not fun.
When you were apart from your fiance. That
And
must have
I,
been so hard.
It was really hard. And so this is why I brought this up, because I kind of do have an idea of, you
What
know,
it's like for these celebrity
yeah,
couples
what
if they're
that's
shooting
like
and
to-
spending a major part of the year apart.
Exactly, to not be able. I mean, they have the finances, but obviously sometimes it doesn't come down to that. It comes down
They
to
may not be able to
scheduling
leave a
and-
shoot. They
Exactly,
may not-
they're
right.
working. And
You can't uproot a
basically-
family, too. Those celebrities with children are in school.
Exactly. So it's the practicalities of just being so far away from each other. And I know in my case, I got to the point where I almost didn't know what to talk to him about because at the time I couldn't work legally. So I was having to just sort of be here and, you know, I changed my flight, I think 15 times because it would get
The
to
same
2 days.
flight?
Yeah. Because it would get to 2 days before I was due to leave and the lawyer would say, no, you can't leave again. And so I kept having to do that because I was trying to wait for my paperwork to come in. And so it was a very difficult period with him being so far away.
Was it difficult for him to come here, just even to visit you during that?
We had
time?
an apartment back home, and we hadn't sort of finished everything because I was only due to be here for 2 months. In the end, my mum had to pack up my whole apartment and was on the phone to me saying, do you want to keep this? Do you want to keep that? And she had to
my
ship boxes to me.
God.
And I was like, I don't even remember what that looks like now. That was 10 months ago. So I definitely, it's hard. It's hard when you're away from someone and you get to the point where you're beginning to live two completely different lives. And so you you don't know what to say to each other anymore. It's like, oh, so what have you been doing? Oh, working. What have you been doing? Oh, you know.
Is that
And you
part
can-
of why you guys broke up, honey? Can I
Absolutely.
ask?
Yeah. I mean, I
From
was
the
due to get
distance.
married. Like the honeymoon deposit was down, the wedding dress was bought, and then we found out that to get my green card, my stepmom is American, so that's how I was able to get it. I had to come out here as a single person. And so that was the choice that I made, with the fact that he wanted to be out here too, because he was a semi-professional American pool player.
Wow.
He got up to like number 3 in the UK and was very good, and there wasn't really enough money to be made from it.
Right. But here,
over
there could be.
And here there was. So the plan was definitely to be here. And it was a funny thing because you always have certain things in relationships that you would prefer them if they were maybe a little bit different, but they don't bother you too much. But when you
Right.
get that distance from someone, sometimes those things you can get a different perspective on it, and you start looking at it and you start going, do I really want to put up with those things for the rest of my life.
Do they become bigger, almost like magnified, because you're not around for the other good to enjoy,
exactly.
and then the negative can just gnaw at you?
Yeah, it's just kind of like, you don't have the nice part of being with the person and being in love with them and having all that fun, happy time. And so, you start sort of looking at, hold on a minute, maybe this isn't the person that I should be with for the rest of my life.
So do you think actually now, honey, Serena, that it's a good thing? That maybe you guys just weren't meant to be, not to take away from any of the pain of a breakup, because breakups are so difficult. Mm-hmm. But do you think it's actually a positive now?
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, I was with him for 4.5 years. Wow. So it was a decent amount of time. And
so you're like 20, so you were with him from like 16 to 20. That's amazing. Oh, 22? I mean, so young and beautiful you are.
Thank you.
Good Lord have mercy.
So anyway, so it is sad. It's always sad when you see it, but you do kind of understand. And unfortunately, I don't know how they used to do it. Like back in the day when there was wars, I mean, these guys were away for years and they came back.
There she is bringing up war again.
I know, I'm
She's
not
a
trying
warmonger.
to. I'm not trying to, but isn't that true? Like they used to be able to manage it. They used to be able to do it, and they can't do it here now. Like in present day, people don't seem to be able to do that.
That's because there's Twitter and Facebook.
I was just about to say that was before social media.
Yeah. Well, before you could be gone for a year, have your little affair on the side. Nobody would ever know about it.
Have your children on the side.
Yeah, you come back, everything's fine.
Hold on, Corey. Serena, you stick with me on this one. Mm-hmm. Don't you think there were couples who did not have affairs even though they were separated by war, and that the woman waited for her man, and nowadays women go to war, maybe the man waited for her and they were, they were committed?
They were probably mentally challenged or really ugly. No, I'm kidding. No, but I mean, that's why you hear about. That's why you think, like nowadays, so many marriages go to divorce. Mm-hmm. So many people get divorced.
55%.
But it's
in
the
America.
same as it's always been. People always cheat. It's just now.
Well, see, my grandparents.
It's way easier to find out.
My grandparents have been married for 55 years, and neither of them ever have done anything on each other. So, that's a pretty long marriage, and that's kind of cool. And in this day and age, you don't find that as much.
Does that give you faith, Serena, that relationships
this is going to sound terrible now. But between my two parents and my two step-parents, there's 12 marriages. I mean, my dad's on his third to my stepmom. My stepmom's on her second to my dad.
They should run for office because that's a good thing in politics, Serena.
Yeah, I know. Well, and my mum, that's what I mean. My stepdad's on his fourth to my mum. My mum's on her third to my stepdad. And then my dad is on his third and my stepmom's on her second. So altogether, that's 12 marriages.
See, that's why I'm glad black people don't get married.
Well, they've stopped now. They've been married for they've both been married now for like 16, 17 years. They're both stopped now and quite happy. But it took that before they found the right person. So.
To be fair to your grandparents, you don't know if they didn't have an open relationship, but they just kept it quiet.
I don't want to think about that with my grandparents.
Maybe they had it with sheep.
My grandparents
That's
were
what they
together
probably
for a
did in
long
the old
time,
days. The men didn't have affairs; they just had sex with sheep, right?
Did you give him another one of those candies?
No, if I gave him one of those candies, he would be outside wandering and
Langdon
dazing.
can't do those things.
No, he does
Langdon
not.
cannot do those things.
Be in his bedroom right now. I need to go sleep.
I'm actually very.
It's not like you've seen that before, Corey.
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Never.
Nicole
Nope.
bringing water.
Fanning him. He took to his bed like Blanche. Just like, oh my lordy.
Yeah, I can't handle substances.
I've never tried, to be honest.
Good girl. Don't
So
do it.
alcohol's the only thing I've ever had.
You would not even have champagne today.
No, I
Actually, you did
wouldn't.
not have champagne today.
I
You
know.
had water.
I had water.
To be
I'm a
fair,
good
she
girl.
wasn't offered.
No,
I did offer her
he did.
champagne first thing. I groped her. No, nation,
And then
I
offered me
didn't.
champagne.
We kissed on the cheek.
To make
we
up
did
for it.
air kisses and no champagne.
No, I don't want any champagne, but I'll grab your junk instead.
How did you know?
I saw it.
Because he tried after.
Yeah. I was like, hey, do you want some champagne? And she's like, no. And I was like, no, and?
See, Brianna, now you know what Corey's role on the show really is. Now you know why he comes to Langdon Nation. Just to see the hot chicks.
That's it.
Speaking of hot chicks, you were in Garbage with Daryl Hannah. Mm-hmm. You also, I want to hear, actually you have so many films coming out, but I want to hear about the movie. It's the true story of the man who bought an Oscar off of eBay.
Yes.
A Date with Oscar. You guys, can you imagine this? It's a true story.
Really? It is. It's a true story. It's alongside Alimi Ballard, who was in Numbers for years and Fast Five. Basically, this guy ended up finding an Oscar on eBay, and it was a real Oscar.
What's their Oscar on
right?
eBay?
I don't know.
You can at least take it to Christie's
Well,
and auction it.
the story goes...
Which actor did that? Who could have
I
been
know.
poor enough?
The story goes that apparently there was something like 50 of them stolen from a factory or something, however many years ago it was, and they got out and they tried to keep it sort of on the down low. And
Really?
apparently so. And so basically this one ended up being put on eBay. He bought it. I think it was $5,000.
It did not belong to anyone, Serena, so we don't think there was an actor who gave it up.
No.
Because that would be such a dishonor.
I think it was
this-
the bloke from the Crying
This
Game.
is when it was. Oh my God, Michael! When I think because they're
You
made in
meanie.
Chicago. I think I remember this. So
Yes,
they stole some.
Exactly.
I
So there was
remember
some that was
this.
stolen, and basically this guy, after keeping it for a while, he basically decided to take it to the Oscar parties and try and get in with it.
Like a ticket.
Yeah. And he actually did get into a lot of the Oscar after parties, the big
You're
ones.
kidding.
No, and he met a lot of the celebrities.
This unknown bloke, and were they all kissing his ass?
Interestingly, he's
thinking
actually
he
a
was-
photographer, and he was a celebrity. I think he
Was
still
he a
is
paparazzi?
a photographer now. No, but he's taken shots of David Beckham and, Michael.
Have you seen the new
Madsen.
underwear line he's doing for H&M?
Yes, I have seen that.
Cut the show. Hold on, I have to
He's
go change.
pretty handsome, David Beckham. Wow. Yeah.
Good God Almighty!
Anyway.
And we got him.
That's it.
We got
Anyway,
David Beckham and
so-
you.
There you go. That would be good, actually. I don't know. Anyway, but basically, the guy after he got found out, he then decided to put it on to a car auction website or something in exchange for a Mercedes convertible.
This man knows how to
Seriously.
trade up.
And at that point, he ended up having the police come to his house to raid his house. They surrounded his house with guns. He was arrested.
Under what charge? What's the charge?
I think
The
it was
police are now protecting-
trespass for doing the Oscar after party and fraud or whatever it was. And they actually tried to give him 6 months in jail. In the end, he only ended up with 3 weeks. And
he was with Lindsay Lohan. I think I saw that.
yeah, one of the many times, and and he ended up basically having to do community service and stuff like that. But he then turned it into a movie. So I play a lawyer. so
He wrote the screenplay and then sold it, or just sold the idea.
he's the producer of the film,
Whoa! What a smart man.
Wow.
What's his name?
Fernando Escobar.
Fernando Escobar. If you're listening, let's get Fernando on. Do you still have his cell?
Do I have? I might.
Let's
do.
call him
I
right
don't
now.
know.
Should we?
I don't know. I don't know if he would pick up. To be honest, I know he's been out of town doing shoots.
All right. We sometimes call people live from the show. I wouldn't want to do that. Fernando would be a fabulous guest, though. So let's talk after the show.
It's kind of a cool story, right?
Isn't it? It's why when I saw the
cool
notes,
story.
I was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing."
Yeah. So I play a lawyer that's basically trying to help prosecute.
Yeah,
So-
you're a badass, aren't you?
It is fun to play bad.
You play a variety of characters. When I looked at your
do,
resume, it's
yeah.
amazing. You are very versatile. Most actors end up getting pigeonholed rather quickly and typecast. Right? I mean,
Oh, totally. Do you get to play a lot of American, like where you have to do an American accent? Or
Yeah, I've
do
played
you-
both. It's kind of interesting though because they do, from looking at me, they do tend to automatically kind of go educated,
yeah.
smart, sexy lawyer or businesswoman. It's kind of like what the initial thing is. And then
But-
they see that I can play psychotic and that I've,
Yeah.
stabbed people in films and that I can play the little feeble, sort of weak girl. And,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, give us a
That
little
sounds fun.
weak, oh.
Stab someone.
You see, that would be more fun. Funnily enough, there's no sharp objects around here. I wonder
Because
why
I
that is.
heard about you. I heard about you.
My reputation precedes me.
Darling,
Your IMDb page procedure.
give us your best American accent.
What do you want me to say? I mean, basically, my American accent's quite solid.
That's really good.
Wow.
That was really good.
Yeah. I had no problem doing it when I first moved here. And then I actually took a couple of lessons though with Bob Korf as well, who's like, the go-to guy for dialect lessons. And he just sort of fine-tuned it even more. But yeah, it's interesting because they say that it's easier for English people to do the East Coast accent than it is to do the West Coast.
Can you do New York?
No, that's what's weird. Well, I've never tried. So, and I would have to probably listen to it more because the only things you hear are, the typical gangster.
Forget about it.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not really how they talk, is it?
Really.
So I probably, I would want to do a couple of dialect lessons but I can do the Southern and Standard and Californian, basically.
Awesome.
Can I tell a quick story?
Yeah.
Do we have to listen?
Yeah. You don't have to. I was at a bar with a friend of mine one night, and these two British guys came in and sat next to us, and we were talking to them, and then this table full of girls came into the bar and sat down behind us. So the two British guys go to talk to the girls, and me and my friend were like, let's pretend like we're British and go talk to the girls. So we went over to talk to the girls with our fake British accents, and we're talking to these girls, and we're making up stories as we go along. Oh yeah, you remember living on Manchester Road and blah blah blah. And they're like, well, what are you guys doing in America? And we're like, we're here shooting a film, and they told us to go out with the American public and learn how to speak like Americans. And we're doing this with like the worst British accents we've ever heard. And they go, well, let's hear your American accents. And so we started talking just like I'm talking to you right now, and he was talking to me like he normally talks. And they go, oh my God, those are terrible. You guys really need to work on them.
So funny.
Okay.
See, I have people telling me that I sound Australian. Like, no,
You do have a hint of Australian
It's
rather than a
really-
British.
do you
It's so
know
funny.
what's
You sound like
funny?
my friend Justin's wife, Fiona.
Well, there's a certain part of Australia where they sound closer to us. That's like Perth.
I know what.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
what this is.
That's where Fiona's from.
I've got a theory on it. I'm going to see if my theory matches yours now, Mike.
My theory is that if you've been here for a while, you slow down a bit, and you start to take the edge off. And if you come from anywhere near London, you sound more Australian
Exactly.
to an American person
Right.
than you sound from Manchester.
Yeah, and see, I was born in East London, so technically I'm supposed to be like talk like this. I'm supposed to be the true Cockney, drop my vowels, sound like, and it sounds awful. But I was raised in Sussex, which is an hour outside of London, and I sound like everybody else sounds back there. But because
To an
it's
American
not,
ear, especially, because
but to
our
an
ears are
American,
uneducated.
It's basically, and this is my theory. I'm like, if you guys hear the Oliver Twist Cockney, or you hear the the Keira Knightley with the plum in my mouth, basically very proper British. And nobody sounds like that in real life.
Can you do the Michael Caine? Because he always sounds like he's eating something.
See, and Michael Caine is more Cockney.
like-
Yeah, he's very
Cockney
Cockney. Yes,
something.
yes.
Yeah, but there's no in between, and so when you get the in between, people kind of go Australian. But Australia,
Or
the biggest
New Zealand?
thing, New Zealand second, and then South Africans third
Yeah.
usually, and then finally they get to British.
South Africans are like they're instead of
I could do it.
But
their
Australian,
THs are Fs.
Australians sound like, okay, I'm going to do my awful Australian accent, but Australians sound like that, so it's a lot more rounded.
Whereas a South African
And-
So it's like
Dundee.
dint. It's like
Yeah,
I
and
put
South
an I in
African
the word.
sounds like this. It's very clipped.
Exactly. So, and in British is clipped, but not like that. So it's in
Not like
between
that,
the two.
mate.
So that's the biggest thing. But we were talking about this just before, obviously, we went on air. And, I mean, I've literally had people stand there and scream at me telling me that I'm not English because they've been to England. They know what English people sound like. I have every day I have people say, you can't be English, your teeth are too good. So that's the other big one.
that is so
That's the other
mean.
big
That's the dead
stereotype.
What do you
giveaway.
say when
That's the dead
people-
giveaway.
What do you do when people say that kind of? And first of all, where are you going? Where
Where
people
people-
are yelling at
Right,
you?
Nikki? Where is she
mean,
hanging out? And
seriously.
Americans are being so mean to her.
I don't
I
understand
know.
that.
I know it's a funny thing, but in general, you can just be standing. I've been standing in a grocery store in line, and I've had someone say, "Oh, Australian." I'm like, "No, I'm British," but that's fine. And they kind of go, "You're not English."
Wow.
No,
I love that they're going to
really am.
tell her where she's from.
I know it's the
See-
weirdest thing.
Wait, has
And-
this happened more than once?
Oh, it's happened to me dozens of times. I went to Disneyland and I was sitting in a ride and the father turns around to his daughter and says, "Tell her to say put another shrimp on the Barbie." I'm like, really? I'm like, number one, even if you said that to an Australian, they'd probably be kind of offended. And secondly, other side of the world, English.
Wrong half. Wow. I'm on the top half.
So, but the teeth thing has come up a lot because I do.
That's so mean.
I've done body parts modeling for my facial features and my
Wait,
smile and my
you
eyes.
can model.
And
I
your
hold on.
boobies and your leg. Don't.
I've never done that.
Full force stop. I have heard of hand models, Serena.
Yes.
And let me see. Oh, you have lovely hands.
Hands, yeah.
What are body part models? I've honestly never heard of this.
Body parts are kind of
Like your nose?
Yeah, it's like it can be your nose, it can be your eyes. For like mascara commercials, they'll have things.
I don't know if I would be insulted if, like, my agent said, "Yeah, Langdon, they really like you. They like your eyebrow."
Well, there's a couple of agencies that are specific in body parts
I
modeling.
think I'd be crushed.
So you go to them because they specialize in it.
Oh, what's my best feature then? What should I go
I have an
for,
eyebrow
Serena?
agent.
I like your eyes,
You do? Oh.
and you got good cheekbones.
Oh, I love my but I'm like 30 pounds heavier, 25 pounds heavier than I normally am right now.
But see that it can
Normally
just be
they're like,
yeah, but they're still good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me
fatty
show you
bag.
this body part. Do you like this? And let me show you this. Wait.
Every show, he's got to show his junk.
Do you like this body part?
I thought we were cleaning this up.
Okay, wait, one more. Do you like this body part, Serena?
Oh my lord.
Your scrotum is so not PG.
Didn't say it. You're not supposed to say it. We're just doing innuendo.
You're going to get a call from Serena's manager
I
tomorrow.
am.
I'm just saying. It's not.
Serena, it has been lovely, but this is the bottom of the show.
Aw,
I don't want you to
let's
go.
Okay.
Can you just stay and spend the whole day?
Well, that would be fun.
You guys, we're going to leave you now. I am cutting out, swear to God, because you know what? We're not taping another show. Serena and I are going to go have a date.
Before you do that, though, will you just say two things for me? Say no,
No.
and then say champagne supernova in the sky.
Champagne supernova in the sky.
There's
a
an R
running
in it.
show.
Why is there an R?
Serena, you have been lovely. I wish you much luck with all of your shows.
Thank you very much.
You going to come back?
I'd love to.
Amen, lovely. Thank you.
Nice talking to you.